From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the house, from the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum hunab ku evam maya imaho. Ayum hunab ku evam maya imaho. Ayum hunab ku evam maya imaho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Welcome to Yata's Tiny House Village. We're here every Wednesday night to promote vegetable soup for women and men, but the book is all titled Vegetable Soup for Women because this was a collective effort of stories that nourish your body, mind, and finances that is available to you now after a miracle of cooperation with various human beings. So welcome to the village. Let's get started. And here we go through the village. So come on in to the village. I'm Beata. And for those of you who might be new to my channel, welcome, bienvenido. And the tiny house experience is my life. And I believe it's the best way to find peace and fewer expenses in your life. I started in 2014 with a tiny house on wheels, 8 by 20, 160 square feet. And I lived in that house after my divorce for 5 years out in the country, west of Orlando, Florida, with house, horses and cows, dirt roads. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Clean air. And then by divine order, I moved into an ashram because my friend requested during COVID that she needed someone to help her kind of maintain the huge ashram with her. And so I moved into this beautiful space with a saltwater pool, ended up selling my tiny house on wheels And when the ashram was sold, I had to find a new house. So just by chance, synchronicity, my oldest son divorced his wife with two children, bought a house on quarter acre of land, and in the quarter acre of land was this 320 square foot shed. Nobody knew what to do with it. It was full of tools and all wood walls. And we all like, nice place to store stuff. But by chance, I had to find a new home. And so I sold my tiny house on wheels and spent over 10 grand renovating this place, which is now my peaceful dwelling place. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I encourage all of you to don't fret, don't worry about affordable housing. Just find a way. Find a way to get smaller housing on land. And we show you how here on Vietta's Tiny House Village. Now, I have an ebook as well that I wrote about my journey through Tiny House. So if you're interested in that, along with this amazing project here, Vegetable Soup for Women, you can get a copy of this PDF or ebook form for any Cash App amount. You send it to my Cash App. It's about 70 pages. 9 of different authors came together. And as you can see, we actually had a lot of help from AI to create the cover and to organize the chapters in this book. So the writing on the back was, we had help from AI. Savor a unique soul warming blend of real life, actionable stories, recognize your potential, embrace your wisdom, cultivate your prosperity, learn how caring for your body and mind creates a powerful, compassionate life. All of that in this book from 9 different people's experiences. We put all that together. Fill your cup with confidence and awaken to new possibilities. This book gives you the ingredients to act, reflection, prompts, income blueprints, community models, and healing practices you can use today. All of that in this book that you can get in your email or your phone for any amount of a Cash App donation here at Dollar Vietta Robinson. So send that if you're interested. If you need some support, help, nourishment for body, mind, and finances and your soul, bring it on and we'll send it right to you. Now, tonight, I saw a TikTok video that talked about the revolution. And it was so impactful to me. I'm like, yeah, that's what we got to talk about tonight. And if you're not familiar with Gil Scott Heron, he was an artist who made a song about the revolution will not be televised. I want to play just a little bit of that because I actually found it at the last minute. And we're going to develop our theme tonight from this song, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. And it was a radical piece. And it really says a lot about where we were and where we are now. So listen up to just a little bit of what Gil Scott Heron wrote several years ago. I think this was like it was more than 16 years ago, but here's a little bit. There's Gil Scott Heron. Here's a little bit of the words.
You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised.
Now, it really tells about the time. Xerox, Nixon, and some other things in there that long gone. But you get the idea. The revolution will not be televised. Why will the revolution not be televised? Here in 2026, things are crazy. not only are the planets moving in some unusual ways, retrograde, this the Earth is splitting tomorrow or something, but just the war that was created recently, actually, that war was planned, I heard 20 years ago, just to show you how crazy things are. And so many people this week were talking about sleeper cells, that sleeper cells are like the the organisms in our country that have been waiting to attack us, like kind of like a cancer cell. I would analyze or compare sleeper cells to kind of like sleep. Cancer cells are in everybody. Every human has cancer cells, but they're asleep when you don't have a war or you don't have any triggers, especially emotional triggers that wake up the cancer cells and say, oh, she's having an emotional breakdown. Let's wake up and let's attack. And I would say the United States, Middle East, we're going through an emotional breakdown, breakup, whatever. And so sleeper cells wake up and they start planting bombs here, bombs there, whatever. So anyway, there's a conversation out there about whether these sleeper cells are going to come alive in the United States. Part of the revolution in times like this is to renew your mind, because the revolution has to take place here in this magnificent computer, pineal gland, pituitary gland. Wake up the crystals in there, wake up crystals, and get rid of the fear. Now, we don't fight fear. I would never say fight fear, but you recognize it. Oh, there's fear, especially when you're in meditation, closing your eye, breathing. Oh, fear. What am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about that? You have this fear, and then you say, oh, I'm going to let that pass. So I want to just show you the first revolutionary thing you need to do, especially if you were raised as a Christian. These are unusual times. Let me just see. These are such unusual times that we really have to look at everything we learned differently. Waking up, because the monks who walked for peace really showed us the Prince of Peace brought a message from the universe. And so we're going to connect to the universe, this earthly soul body dwelling in the earthly body. We got to be revolutionary. So I want to bring to your attention, first of all, Psalm 91. I grew up, from the time I was born, I was bathed in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Some of you have heard this story. My grandfather was a pastor. We went to his church every summer from Chicago, Illinois. We drove all the way to the tip of Illinois to stay with my grandfather and grandmother most of the summer as children. And then we did fewer and fewer trips as we got older. But I was bathed in the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I heard the Bible all my life. And then I started studying Hebrew in my, I'd say my 30s, 40s. And I started learning new ways to interpret the Bible, the scriptures. And as I continued to study and learned about the missing years of Christ, where he went to Egypt and he went to Tibet, studied with the monks, these are all things you can find online. It's crazy how much information we have available and we don't use it. So as I learned more and more and more about this gospel and the changes that I needed to make here, revolutionary, transformational changes, Psalm 91 is one of those scriptures that stays with me, and I have just transformed it. And it brings you and me such peace, comfort, protection when you revolutionize and transform it. So I'm going to pull up this psalm. And if you don't do anything else, I want you to consider, whenever you get into fear, worry, doubt, pull up this psalm on your phone. These days, you don't need a Bible. Come by, all the Bible verses are available on your phone. So I'm going to break down this psalm for you to empower you to connect to heaven and earth and have full harmony with the scripture for your protection. I'm going to show you how I've used it in my own life for protection, for a strong, strong faith in the kingdom within. Because remember, Christ, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, Jesus said the kingdom is within. So that's one of the revolutions, transformations that I have gone through to understand this amazing biological computer, this vessel that our soul lives in. We need to go within to really understand what heaven is and who our creator is. So let me bring up Psalm 91, and we're going to break it down for you in a way that it becomes your weapon against anything. I mean, anything. So that you have no more fear about anything. Okay. Psalm 91, this particular video, it said Psalm 91 is your weapon in spiritual warfare. But the typical way this psalm is written, we need to bring revolution and more understanding to it so that it empowers you, not bring in the traditional translations of King James Bible and all the other people who decided what this word really meant. I'm going to show you a way to really personalize it and make it your weapon against any sleeper cells, robbers, thieves, whatever. I have almost memorized this because for so many years I have used this scripture in my life to use as a weapon. So Psalm 91 starts out, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Translation for you and me is, I am dwelling, I am hiding. In fact, it says he who dwells, secret. I am hiding under the covering of the universe. And I abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You could look at these trees and think about when you are under a tree, you're usually in a shadow, right? You're in a covering from the leaves and the branches, and you have a shadow over you. That tree is the creator. Why do I say that? It's not new age stuff or anything. If you cut open a tree, you cut down the tree, you'll see these circular rings in the trunk, and they can tell how old that tree is by the rings in the trunk. Those rings represent sacred geometry, which is everywhere in the universe. Look at your thumb. You have circular rings on in your skin as another sacred geometry. That's your creator. So this first verse, you affirm without doubt, without any reservation, that I dwell in a very secret place. My soul actually is dwelling inside in a secret place in the shadow of the Almighty, which can be a tree or under the sky, but you are dwelling in your soul. It's a soul, it's a connection on a multi-dimensional level to protect you from any harm. Okay. And then he goes on to the next verse.
Lord, I pray that I would always be in the secret place where your presence dwells. Father, I desire to always be in fellowship with you.
Now, this guy is giving actually a personal prayer, which I'm going to mute because we can go to the next dimension and we don't even have to say, Father. It's up to you how you want to relate. But I don't call on the creator as Father. I call on the creator as universe, spirit, because for me, you can personalize this, but for me, the energy of the universe, which I believe is our creator, is so much more powerful than saying Father. But some people would rather relate to the creator as Father, which is fine. No argument at all about that. But being under the shadow of the Almighty means you are under the power of the universe. Now, the second verse reads, I say of Yahuwah, I call him, I don't use the word Lord, but you can, if you want, that's your preference. I will say of the Most High, you are my refuge and my fortress. my Elohim, my creator, in you I will trust. Now notice I don't use him or her. You have to take, well, in my opinion, you need to take the gender out of any affirmation about the creator. Creator is not a he, in my opinion now. And what has empowered me to love my female self as my male self is to recognize the universe is non-gender specific. Now you have in the Hebrew, you have words that are actually female or male, but when it comes to the universe, you have female birds, you have male birds, you have female and humans, you have male human. But the creator of the heaven and earth, Yod He Vav He, Yahweh, is not a male or a female, it's both. So this second verse gives you the power to say, you are my refuge and my protection. I will trust in you. That's you, the universe, okay? Second verse. Third verse, let's see, get to the third verse. He gives, let's just admire the trees. I love that he's bringing in the trees and the water, because here's our fortress right here. Those trees are our protection because they represent the spirit of the Most High, Yahweh. They represent seed that came up from the earth like we did, seed that came from heaven. We connect earth and heaven. The trees came up from the earth. We came out as star seeds into the womb, into a portal. And now we come together on this earth, affirming Psalm 91, which gives us a weapon in spiritual warfare. So these are great times to grow and be revolutionary. Now, the third verse, surely you will deliver me from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. Basically, you're going to deliver me from anything. Basically, I know, snare of the fowler, any evil around you, perilous pestilence, whatever you are afraid of, there's deliverance when you have the mind. This is your revolution. Our revolution is mental. Now look at the snow and the mountains representing again, creator. This is our this is the energy of love here. All this snow and mountain water energy. Look at this as love, 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 love. We are protected because look at all the love the creator has given us in the water and in the land. We are the land, the kingdom inside, and the creator has given us this beautiful earth to transform our minds. You won't see any tall buildings here. This is all earth. Verse 4, you will cover me with your feathers. Under your wings I will take refuge. Your truth shall be my shield and buckler. Notice this verse, it writes in most Bibles, his truth shall be your shield and buckler. But no, no, no. Revolution time, revolution time. Your truth, Yahweh, your truth, creator, your truth, spirit will be my shield and my buckler. So, what does that mean? You got to know the truth. You know where the truth is? Right in here. If you know how this biological computer functions, all the processes that go on inside this body, all the principles of this body from swallowing to digesting, that's truth. We don't have to measure truth by outside things because it changes every day. People have a truth of their own truth, but you can examine the truth of your human body to know whether your truth is going to be a shield and buckler. That's why in my book I write about German New Medicine, which is all about the truth of the master design in this body. More trees here, more trees. They make the universe makes a pathway, a road. Look at the road. We are on a road to heaven. And I'm not talking about dying and going to heaven. I'm talking about a road to mental peace. Heaven is right here, just like hell is right here. If you don't have the truth of the spirit of the Most High, the energy of love in your heart, You're going to have hell up going up here. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I don't know. The evil is coming. Look at the trees again. The trees are reminding us of the power that we have around us. Verse 5, I will not be afraid of the terror by night. I won't be afraid of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. Why? We got trees. Look at all these trees. The Creator did not put all this beauty, the water, the trees on this planet that we would be in fear. No matter what men and their evil and their craziness do, we have the reminders in nature that we should not be afraid, and nothing is going to harm us when we speak these words of truth. There's no need to be afraid of cells. And look at how the water flows, the beauty of earth. This is just a reminder, these visuals of how beautiful and how loving our Heavenly Father, our heavenly creators, the universe, all the energy that put this together is for our good. So why would we have fear when we know that we are protected and we dwell in the secret place, which is in here? The secret place is right here inside this sacred vessel where our soul dwells. Verse 7 through 12, I love this. Is the favorite part of this song. 1,000 may fall at my side, 10,000 at my right hand. It won't come near me. Only with my eyes shall I look and see the reward of the wicked. Because I have made you, Yahuwah, universe, spirit, creator, my refuge. Even the Most High, my dwelling place. Where is the dwelling place? I am dwelling in this kingdom right now. It is so powerful in here. Why would I fear? No evil will befall me, nor shall any plague come near my dwelling. For you will give me your angels and your messengers and your ancestors charge over me to keep me in all my ways. In their hands they shall bear me up, lest I dash my foot against a stone. Woo! If you don't feel that, you're dead. The spirit in these words, when you speak them and make them personal, are so important for your spiritual warfare, for your protection, because these words are full of life. They're full of truth. They're full of the energy that says, I love you. I gave you these words. I put these words in a book for you to translate and to use for your benefit. Some of the things that were put in the Bible were mistranslated and used for the glorification of man. Okay, we got to be able to translate everything in the Bible and know by the spirit within us whether it's true or half truth. These words, when you personalize them, as I'm showing you, are so powerful to give you whatever you need so you can be thankful that this book exists. And as I said, you don't have to have the whole book now. You can go on your phone and take these words and use them for your good. Now, this man, he's talking about angels having charge over you. You can all remember your ancestors are with you as well, and they have charge over you. They're with you, and birds and bees and animals. I had bees showing up the other day. I even had a bee in my house dead. I don't know how he got in here, and he just showed up. He was laying on the floor, poor thing, dead. But I have bees show up around me all the time, and this one showed up laying on his back. But these creatures are a sign. If you ever have creatures or animals, insects that show up unexpectedly, there is a book called Animal Speak that can give you more understanding about what those animals are saying. Now, verse 13 here says, I will tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent, I shall trample underfoot. So even those animals that might harm you, no problem. Spiritually, you're above these animals. The spirit of the the universe, the spirit of the angels, the spirit of all the collective energy, the Holy Spirit, all these things will empower you when you are using this psalm as your weapon in warfare, in spiritual warfare. You stand on these words, you speak these words, and you will know, you will feel the presence of the universe, the spirit of the Most High, the love. You will feel the love. And then when you look at the nature around you, see all these visuals. I love this video because it brings in heaven and earth in giving you the energy of nature, which is what our creator is, all sacred energy. Look at the spirals in the water. Because you have, he says at the end, they say, this psalm says at the end, because I have set my love upon you, Yahuwah, therefore you're going to deliver me. You're going to set me on high because I've known your name, Yahuwah. I shall call upon you. You will answer me. You will be with me in trouble. You will deliver me and honor me with long life. You will satisfy me and show me salvation. Now, that is Psalm 91, which I believe is the first step in your revolutionary mind that you're creating these days in time of war, conflict, worry, fear, sleeper cells. That song, pull it up on your phone when you have fear, and just read it and personalize it and make it your truth. Make it your truth. And I've been in, I say since birth, so I turned 71 times around the sun last week. So for 71 times around the sun, the universe has been showing me the truth that's in the word. I don't read the Bible very often anymore because I studied it for 50 years or more. But every now and then the Psalms come to my mind, Proverbs comes to my mind. Certain scriptures will come to my mind and they bring out the truth in the kingdom, in me. So in this revolutionary time that we're in, I encourage you to make sure you're connecting with truth like Psalm 91. There is a new moon coming up, which is beginning. A new beginning means new beginning. I think it's tonight and tomorrow. The new moon is in a dark phase. So you want to mentally, again, the revolution is all mental. Connect with the new moon. And what does that new beginning? Start doing new things. More breath work, collective worship. Let's worship together with our breath, breathing in, holding that breath, exhaling, holding the breath. We collectively, if we are doing this as a collective body of humans and souls, a collective body of souls in a vessel, then that collective effort of worship, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, is creating peace on this earth. Peace on this earth. Instead of reacting to everything, Trump derangement, Simran, all that, is if you're not in tune with those distractions, we're going to create more peace on the earth. And I would say, in terms of revolutionary activity, hugging trees is so important. I did a show last week that um, gave you some scientific evidence on why hugging trees is important and how it changes the biology and the energy inside of you. I found in my neighborhood, I found this huge tree, which is now my go-to every day when I walk to give a hug, big hug to, although I have lots of trees. Don't miss out on hugging trees. They are scientifically proven to bring your energy up, to bless you, and to help you connect to heaven and earth with the energy that's running up and down the trunk of those trees and also running up and down the trunk of your spine. And then finally, or not finally, also your food. If you don't add one food, make sure it's mushrooms. Mushrooms, and I can't even begin to tell you all the different mushrooms, like chaga, lion's mane. Lion's mane is one. I just bought some tea, lion's mane tea. It's good for focusing. It helps the brain. So I need that. I was drinking Rise, which has about 6 or 7 mushrooms in it, and I felt the difference. I went through a whole bag of Rise coffee mushroom, and it gave me, I think, more stamina, more immune power. And with 7 mushrooms, please, please, please do some research, do your homework, and make up your mind what's your favorite mushroom. Or if you don't have a favorite, drink all of them. There are so many beverages and foods out there where you can incorporate mushrooms in your diet. We're done with the chitlins and the pork chops and hopefully the fried chicken. They're not even, they're wondering, with all the millions of meat products that people eat every year, they can't figure out where the cows are coming from. The cows are not supplying the meat that people are eating. Something's going on. There's not enough cows to feed all the people who are eating meat, is what they're saying. Reports are coming out. So if you ever heard of the word Soylent Green, it's very likely that you're eating human flesh these days. You don't know. So here's the solution, is to find a local farmer who kills his cows and chickens right there and on the spot. Don't trust big corporate meat. In fact, I heard BlackRock. If you know who BlackRock is, they own all 4 major butchers or meat processing plants in the United States. So that says a lot, because BlackRock does not have our interests, our health interests at heart. They're all about making the money. So think wisely. Revolution time is renewing your thoughts, renewing your brain. We can no longer trust corporates and the government. Can't, nope, nope, don't trust them. Use your own mind, do your own research. Internet is here for us to learn more about everything. So in your diet, I'm on Friday morning, I talk about all kinds of health topics. And I have a partnership with other YouTubers that I introduce you to on most of my shows, because these are people who are teaching me things and who I trust. So I always introduce you to YouTubers who are teaching about your body on Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in on Friday if you want to know more about mushrooms. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a show Friday about all the mushrooms and what their benefits are and why they're so important. Oh my goodness. So important. And I'm really feeling that after like 2 weeks of doing coffee mushroom every day, I'm feeling the difference. And I don't eat but one meal a day, basically. I'm usually one meal and then I snack here or there, but one big meal a day. And it usually, my morning is coffee mushrooms or some type of mushroom in my diet. So, and entertainment, please, please, please be very careful what you put in your eyes and your ears. We are in a season where the Antichrist is being talked about a lot lately. Yeah, Antichrist. But my thought is, I had a debate with a woman on Facebook about Antichrist, and she, oh, it's a man. The Bible tells us a man's going to show up. A man's going to show up. Blah 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 blah. And my thought was, you're spiritually blind if you're waiting for a human being to show up and say, "Look, I'm the Antichrist." We got Antichrist all over the place, in my opinion. It's a spirit, just like the Yeshua HaMashiach, aka Jesus. It's a spirit of love, truth, and wisdom. The Antichrist, in my opinion, is just the opposite. It's a spirit of lies, deceit, hate, anger, murder, all of those things. Antichrist, Antichrist. So just beware. The more mushrooms you eat, maybe you'll be able to discern better who's the Antichrist and who's not. But the spirit is out there. It hasn't ended. It's always been there. Just as I believe the spirit of Yeshua, the Christ, the Messiah, has always been with us somewhere on the planet. And we are now recognizing it more and more because we have knowledge and we have truth within us. So when we see a spirit of Christ, we know it's a special love energy that's come to help us. Like the monks, the Venerable Panakara monk came to show us a higher way of thinking. Wake up every morning. Today is going to be my peaceful day. This exercise of writing down every morning, today is going to be my peaceful day, is a spiritual exercise because it allows your energy of your hands to match up with heaven and earth. You know, we're aligning ourselves with heaven and earth. This is the revolution. Everything we do, we want to be in alignment with heaven. So writing down, today is going to be my peaceful day, and then reading it several times, guess what? Universal energy comes down and says, "Ooh, let's do that. Let's do it." We have a cooperation now. The revolution is about cooperation, cooperation with the heaven to help us bring peace to the planet. But first, it comes here, it starts in here. Now, for those of you who may be wondering, well, what the heck is going on all over the planet? We know we need a revolution, but I always want to introduce my friend Ralph Smart with his messages because he's always so relevant. And his whole purpose is to help us be better at everything we do. So let me play, I think this is his latest video about Gog and Magog. This is like a biblical term that we should all be aware of because he says it's happening right now. And for those of you who are in your Bible, you should know what's going on. So no fear, just recognize what recognize the show we're watching, and then affirm with Psalm 91, you're dwelling in the secret place of the Most High and no harm's going to come to you. But here's a message from my brother, Ralph Smart. He's also a Pisces like me. So he has a message for us before we go.
Something is happening in the world right now, and most people don't see it. Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. Whoa! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Raising the frequency, raising the vibration. Take that, take that, take that. Good ass energy I'm sending you. Deep divers, Gog and Magog. Have you heard of it? Gog and Magog is happening right now. And let me break it down for you, deep divers, in simple terms. Gog and Magog is an ancient way of describing a time when chaos rises in the world before a major shift happens. Eschatology deals with human history, the last days, what's going to happen next, the end times. And you see, cultures all around the world, they spoke about Gog and Magog as the end times. It's mentioned in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Torah. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some fascinating information about Gog and Magog and how it ties into everything that's happening right now. Deep divers, hit the like button right now if you support the real. Hit the like button right now if you support the real, because we got a whole lot to talk about. Look, Gog and Magog is happening right now. There is so much happening right now, deep divers. That's an understatement. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Ralph, the world is really uncertain. It's looking a little bit shaky, baby, and we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Let me tell you this, deep divers. Everything you see happening right now in the world is happening for a reason. There are no accidents or coincidences. Everything is happening for a reason. Gog and Magog is happening right now. Now, let me just tell you this. In Ezekiel 38 to 39 and Revelation, Gog is a leader, Magog is the land, and together they represent hostile forces that rise against God's people in the end times. Now, check this out. Gog and Magog is actually not just about people. It's not just about people, deep divers. It's actually about chaos, confusion, conflict in the world. Okay? It's about a pattern of conflict that appears when the world is going through a major shift. And let's talk about what Gog and Magog represents. Deep divers. It represents a time of chaos. What do you see happening right now on the planet? Chaos. Now, a lot of you are like, why is this happening? It's happening because there's an eschatology tied into this. A lot of people don't realize that everything that's happening in the world is spiritual. Let me repeat that. A lot of people don't realize that everything that's happening in the world is spiritual. And that's the reason why Gog and Magog is all starting to make sense, because when you see what's happening with the US, Israel, Iran, if you don't know about Gog and Magog, you're going to be scratching your head like, why are they doing this? What's happening? But if you know about Gog and Magog, it's all going to make sense. And in this video, I'm going to share what you really want to know right now. First and foremost, deep divers, let love guide you and not fear. Even though it seems like the world is ending, it's really not though, but there is a battle happening. We are in the end times, the last days. That's the reason why you see manic and mayhem and wars happening. This is the apocalyptic battle. The Gog and Magog, deep divers. So Gog and Magog represents a time of chaos. It's a time when the world feels unstable, tense, uncertain, right? A lot of people are worried about gas prices, oil prices, travel. Take a look at Dubai. Take a look at the whole GCC, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. A lot of people are nervous right now. And that's what Gog and Magog represents. It happens, deep divers, before a big shift. I said it happens before a big shift. In every tradition, this chaos becomes, it forms, it manifests before a major change is about to happen. That's why I told you, what seems like the end is nothing more than a new beginning in disguise. Slow motion this side. What seems like the end is nothing more than a new beginning in disguise. Gog and Magog is happening right now. Something old ends, something new begins. Gog and Magog is happening right now, deep divers. Pay attention to this. It's not about one country. It's way bigger than one country. Gog and Magog is about global conflict, a global pattern of conflict. Some people say like, gosh, there's been a war in the Middle East for so long. Why? It ties into Gog and Magog. Deep divers, when you remind yourself, the outside reflects the inside. Many people say we are in the end times because people have moved away from the divine source energy in Gaia. We've become AI humanoids and detached, disconnected, and we've lost our soul, right? This is a clear example of Gog and Magog. When people stray away from the divine world. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. We are in these times. It's not all doom and gloom. This is the time to ground yourself. This is the time to choose love, not fear. This is the time to also focus on yourself. This is the time to meditate. This is the time to go within. This is the time to realize those leaders out there have misguided you, and you have to start leading yourself into the promised land. Slow motion this side. This is a time to not tune into their world of Gog and Magog. This is your time to create your own reality of tranquility, peace, harmony. Because the more you are creating your own reality, the more this shapes your entire world.
So, this is the message that you're hearing from many wise, conscious, spiritual people today. I watch them all day on YouTube, or at least at night. My time on YouTube is at night, sometimes after midnight. Go inside. Go inside. The monks gave us that message for 111 days, 2,000 miles. Go inside. Go inside. Breathe, take care of yourself, fly, fly. First, love yourself. Now is the time. This Gog and Magog is a biblical truth, knowledge that tells us, yes, there's going to be conflict. Yes, there's going to be turmoil. But Psalm 91 is just one weapon of warfare that you can use. Your words coming out of this vessel, your words coming out of this biological computer, spitting out the truth. I am a child of the Most High. How do you know you're a child of the Most High? When you walk in peace, when you walk in love, not in anger, not in bitterness, not in hate, not in fear. That type of energy will get you the mind of hell. That's why this heaven and earth is real in here first, because it's all about what your thoughts are, what your words are, and how you're living your life. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Boom. Psalm 91. I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. I abide under the shadow, under the trees of the Almighty. The trees are my protection. The trees are my nourishment. The trees are loving us. The water, the rivers, everything is love, love, love all around us. And if we were to go out and just hate, boom, hell comes to us. We're attracting, as he said, the inside reflects outside, outside reflects inside. So we want to be sure every day to start out in love, peace, joy, contentment. And I myself am just working on not criticizing. I grew up with criticism. My parents criticized everything. And so I learned to criticize really well. So I'm learning to observe without judgment. And every day it helps me to write down, today's going to be my peaceful day. It helps me. It's really helping me. And I'm seeing such a difference in the relationships I'm having with my grandchildren, with my older son, with everyone around me. Love is just oozing out now. So I don't see any comments in the tags. So I assume everyone's listening well. I hope you'll share this with your friends, because these are serious times. Please like and subscribe so that you can get notified when the Most High is giving me some direction here. I get direction from the Most High. It's like boom, boom, boom. Come and say it and spread it out, and let's do it together. Let's do it together and build our faith in truth. Psalm 91 is a truth that you can develop in your own way and make it your weapon of warfare to keep you protected and in peace. So let's do it together. Let's collectively honor one another, love one another, support one another, whatever we have to do. Like and subscribe, please. And if you feel led, you can send a donation to my Cash App, $ Vieta Robinson. My book, From Fear to Faith, is also available. Now that's available. Fear to Faith in the Master Design. I want to just bring up the cover because it was created by my friend Van Dorn Hinant. He's a sacred geometry teacher, an artist, and this cover really does bring you a message of faith in the master design inside you. And this book is over 100 pages. It's a testimony of faith in the creator's human biological computer and how German New Medicine can help you focus on the kingdom within as your source for healing, for empowerment, for everything. And that's available also on my website. If you send a cash app for $8 to $ Vieta Robinson. It's a book that can help you not be distracted of by things that come up in the world every day, whether it's Trump or wars. This book and the cover itself is designed to give you energy, empowerment of love and truth. So let me know if you need a copy of that, and I'll send it right away as a PDF. This is my first book, third book, and I don't print books anymore, at least not for now. I send all my books out by ebook. Even my dad's book, which was his biography, I have an ebook on that one. And I have an ebook available on Tiny House Living. If you're interested, just send me an email to viata@hotmail.com. So this is we're right at the top of the hour, so we're made good timing. I hope this has been helpful for you. If so, please share with your friends. We can do this. We can conquer all the fear and the worry. Disease, no problem. This is the master design that will overcome anything. And the more research done, I sent out a message earlier on TikTok about nicotine. Dr. Brian Artis, has been teaching about nicotine heals a lot of things. So I'm just going to put that out there. If you want more information, go to my TikTok, and I posted a video that he did about nicotine is healing. And they actually did research during COVID to show how much nicotine heals glioblastoma tumor in the brain, myocarditis. Those Native Americans, I believe, were chewing, whoever was chewing that tobacco, they knew something. There was something in that tobacco. And we're not talking about smoking cigarettes. Nope. They put way too many chemicals in cigarettes. And the process and the bringing all that smoke into your body is not healthy at all. But nicotine patches, they're doing something good for people. So anyway, let's keep the knowledge flowing. Let's keep it going. On Friday, I'll bring you more health and well-being information and knowledge to help you live a fabulous, healthy, disease-free life. Namaste to all my yogi friends out there. Sat Nam to all my yogi friends. Ashe, Ashe O to all my brothers and sisters. Aho, Aho. And of course, Shalom. We'll see you on Friday morning at 9 Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, go out there, hug some trees, and especially get lots of sun. Sun is one of the best things you can do every day for nourishment and healing. Mwah. Love you. Shalom. And we're going to remove my cover here and go back to Tiny House. Farewell. Mwah.